A very good afternoon, March. Thanks for joining us here on the program. This is Trending News, 4 p.m. East African time. I am Nancy Nalima. Do stay with me as I bring you up to speed on stories that are making headlines and trending at this hour. Let's begin. Opposition leader Raila Odinga has officially announced that he is ready to contest for the African Union Commission AUC chairperson job. Addressing the media on Thursday, Odinga stated that he had a myriad of consultations with his friends prior to the decision. While terming it a brain drain, Odinga said that he is displeased with how African youth are forced to cross borders to other continents under others' conditions just to eke out a living. The firebrand politician leader therefore said if he clinches the seat, he will be determined to transform the face of Africa and realign it to become an economic superpower.
I have been consulting widely among friends. As the general said, he is one of my closest friends on the continent. And I intimated to him that if there should be interest, I will myself be keen to serve the continent of Africa. I am inclined to accept the challenge. Should the leadership of Africa want my services, I am ready and offer myself to be of service to this continent. And I've asked my friend to continue to be a good ambassador and talk to other people elsewhere. And therefore today I want to make it public that I'm ready, yes, to go for the chairmanship of the African Union. Africa is the richest continent on the planet Earth in terms of minerals and general raw materials. It is a paradox that the richest in terms of resources is also the poorest. This is something that we need to reverse. And it can only be reversed if we as a continent marshal all our resources for the faster socio-economic growth of our continent. So as a Pan-Africanist, I believe strongly that Africa is playing in a league that it should not play. That Africa deserves better.
Right, that's what will be coming to you in details in our subsequent bulletins. Moving on, President William RUTO has called on legislators to pass the Affordable Housing Bill of 2023, which is in its second reading stage. Speaking in Murang'a County earlier today, the state defended his housing program, noting that it has created job opportunities for over 130,000 youth across the country.
Kama serikali tunatumia bilioni 600 kila mwaka kusomesha watoto wa Kenya. Hatuwezi kutumia bilioni 600 kusomesha watoto wa Kenya na hatuna mpango wakitoka pale shuleni watafanya kazi wapi. That will be irresponsible of us. We cannot spend 600 billion every year to educate our children, yet we don't have a plan for them. When they get out of school, what are they going to do? Na ndio sababu kwa mara ya kwanza sasa tuko na mpango mara 4 ya vile tunapanga ajira ya hawa vijana. Vijana mnanisikiza? Na kila mtu unajipanga na akili yako. Hakuna mtu atakuletea kitu mpaka nyumbani. Kabla ya mwisho wa mwaka huu tunataka vijana 1,300 wanafanya kazi katika program ya housing ambao saa hizi hawana kazi. Tayari as I talk to you, nikiongea na nyinyi hapa, tuko na vijana 1,130 tayari wanafanya katika program ya housing. Alafu unasikia kuna watu wengine hatu wanataka kusimamisha hiyo program. Hawa watu si ni wazimu? Yani vijana 1,130 wanafanya kazi saa hii, tuwatoe kazini wakuje wahangaike barabarani, wakuje wamangamange kwa madukani. Sio ni kazi ya bure? So mimi nawauliza, wabunge wako hapa. Leo katika bunge iko sheria ya housing. Mimi nataka niombe wabunge wa Kenya waende wapitishe hiyo sheria ya housing ili tupange ajira ya hawa vijana waweze kuendelea na program ya housing ndio Kenya iweze kusonga mbele, kwa sababu hiyo ndio mbinu nchi zingine zimetumia pale nyuma. Sisi tumechelewa kama Kenya, and we cannot continue to wait. This is a program that should have been there 30 years ago. We are 30 years behind time. Tunaelewana jameni?
Now to health matters, hundreds of expectant mothers from the populous urban Kajiado North Sub-County have a sigh of relief after the county government of Kajiado set up a raft of measures to curb the high rate of child mortality. The county has set up a modern theatre, X-ray and ultrasound units, among other critical health services in both Ongata-Rongai and Ngong Town Sub-County hospitals. Upbeat patients, especially expectant mothers, say the new theatre and the Linda Mama program, a public-funded health scheme that ensures that pregnant women and infants have access to quality and affordable health service. Expectant mothers is a breath of fresh air.
To the facility, which has increased the capacity of patients visiting the hospital. We have the theatre, the new theatre, which has really helped mothers who are delivering, who are going for cesarean sections, and we are now able to handle their cases. We have the obs-gyne services, which has really peaked. We have the general surgery services, and also we have the X-ray services in the facility. Ya watoto wale wanasaliwa zimefungua, na ni kwa sababu ya kuwa na theater yenye iliwezwa kufunguliwa katika hospitali hii.
Before we opened theater, of course there was a lot of challenges because we used to refer patients to Kenyatta, Bagathi or Kajiado. Kajiado, first of all, is a bit far from where we are located. It would take like roughly 2 hours for the patient to reach. So our cases have, the prognosis of these patients has improved because at least the distance is not so far. When we talk about Kenyatta at Bagathi, there is a lot of patients to be seen, so you can go there, but you find the queue is quite long. So the theater has come to really help.
Tunashukuru upande wa theater. Sisi kama wamama hatuna shida kwa sababu tulikuwa tunatumwa hadi Kenyatta, lakini tumeletewa theater hapa karibu. Mtu yeyote kama akona shida upande wa kujifungua mtoto anapelekwa hapo karibu, anafanyiwa theater. Na in case of anything that mtu ameweza kukufa ama ameweza kufariki dunia, tuna mochari pia hapo karibu. Lakini kitambo tulikuwa tunasumbukana, tutapata aje ambulance hadi tufikishe hadi Kenyatta kule mochari. Tunashukuru.
Hotels in community conservancies of Lutungai and Malaso in Samburu Sub-County have been closed due to a surge in cases of insecurity in the area. This follows attacks that left several people dead and others injured in Samburu West. Residents have called on the Inspector General of Police, Jafet Kome, to intervene and ensure normalcy is restored.
Conservancy within Samburu County in the Republic of Kenya. Number two, that we are hereby lodge this petition with the Inspector General of Police requesting the said office to take immediate action to avert senseless loss of human lives, loss of property and wildlife habitat within Lutungai Malaso Wildlife Conservancy. In particular, the Inspector General of Police to deploy police officers with utmost urgency to conduct eviction of illegal and heavily armed intruders and or trespassers who have unlawfully and forcibly invaded and occupy Lutungai Malaso Community Wildlife Conservancy.
Tumekuwa na mkutano zangu asubuhi juu ya usalama ya sehemu hii ambao watu wengi wamepoteza binadamu na watu wengi wamepoteza hata mali. Well, mimi nashukuru nafasi hii nikiwa Mheshimiwa Lenges, mzee chairman wa wazee katika sehemu hii ya Samburu, kwamba najiunga na Samburu County kupeana hiyo memorandum ambayo itakuja kulete manufaa hapa ikiwa serikali itakuja kutimiza yale ambao wamesema.
Serikali waingilia kati kwa sababu hatuwezi kubali kwa conservancy watu wanaishi ndani, kwa sababu wanaharibu mazingira, wanaua wanyama na bado pengine hata maendeleo ifanyiki pale. So ninaomba kwa unyenyekevu.
Away from that, people living with disabilities in Embu County have called on the government to fast-track the registration of new beneficiaries in the Inua Jamii program. The PWDs noted that during the last registration, only people with severe disabilities were enrolled to the program, noting that many other disabled persons, like those with mental issues, have been languishing in poverty.
Geomba serikali yetu ya President RUTO ikase hiyo kitu iwe inatufikia kwa haraka, na wale waliachwa kuandikiwa kwa Inua Jamii, ningeomba pia tu watukumbuke juu wale wengi ndiye waliachwa juu walikuwa wanachukua severe disability.
Kwa serikali ningeomba ya kwamba watu ambao tunasema ni PWD, na nikichukua nafasi hii kushukuru president wetu President RUTO kwa sababu amekuwa wa mstari wa kwanza kuwashughulikia na kuchupia wale ambao tunasema hawajiwezi ma PWDs. Ningeomba pesa ya hawa watu ambao tunasema ni PWDs ama vulnerable wawe wanapewa mapema kulingana na vile serikali tuwaidia, na ni kweli wamekuwa wakipewa mapema, lakini kuna vile ambao last time tulikuwa na kuandikisha hawakuandikishwa upya. Ningeomba serikali mwaka huu wa 2024 ione ya kwamba wameandikisha wengine ambao hawakuandikishwa mwaka uliopita, na ningeomba ma CSs na ma cabinet secretaries na ma PSs waharakishe juhudi hizo, ndio hao watu ambao tunasema wameathirika katika kaunti yetu, katika community zetu waweze kusaidika.
Ningependa kusema
And in the sporting world, Marsabit County football team finally received their reward for the Under-19 football tournament that concluded on December last year. A total of 500,000 shillings was distributed to the team, where 80% went to the players, while 20% was distributed among the staff. Following the success of last year's edition, the Ministry of Sports, through the Kenya Academy of Sports, has promised to include more sporting activities in the coming second edition.
Congratulate, nashukuru watu wa CAS walitupea support, walitupangia tournament tukacheza. Pale tumefika wenyewe hatukuwa tumefika mbeleni, tumejaribu, tumejituma kutosha, but tumefika nationals, hadi nationals tukacheza, alafu tulishinda award kidogo kiasi, alafu hiyo award wametuletea leo. Na hiyo pesa inanisaidia sana. Kwanza mimi si mimi peke yangu, inasaidia wazazi yangu.
We are very happy for this. As the county, we really welcome you for this event. I'm happy, and the boys, I'm sure they are very happy also. With the little token they are given, they will help themselves and their families. Some of them will pay their school fees using that money. And these boys had been selected across the county as per their talents. This brings the bonding of these boys. They come from different tribes. As we know, Marsabit County is made up of 14 tribes, and our boys is a mixture of almost all the tribes. This brings the cooperation and the unity among them.
And now you're on the know right here on Trending News. This is what you can be expecting, however, later on in our broadcast at 7 p.m. and at 9 p.m. Remember that Parliament is back in session, and top of the agenda is the Housing Levy Bill, which is on its second reading. Remember, there are many calls by President William Ruto to pass the Housing Levy Bill, which he says is creating more opportunities for the youth across the country. And as well, right there for discussion is the National Dialogue Report in Parliament. The azimio leader Raila Odinga has been pushing for that, saying that it's time, because after the NADCO report is implemented, then IEBC can be reconstituted again. And as well, we'll be looking at the NHIF now transitioning to SHIF, what that looks like, and the implications as well. Security in Wajir, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki is there, and the President William Ruto in his trip in the Mount Kenya region, Murang'a and Nyeri counties that is happening today. And we'll also taking a look at a few stories in the business front and as well as some sporting action. We appreciate you for watching. Keep it right here on Lookuptv. And for more updates across all our social media platforms at Lookuptv on X, Lookuptv on Facebook, and Lookuptv on our YouTube channel, as well as www.lookuptv.co.ke for stories that are making headlines. I'm Nancy Nalima. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it right here.